Hello and good evening. Well, thanks for joining. Not the best of turnouts tonight, but it's still gonna go ahead. Of course, tonight, round 3, still yet season 4. Of course, tonight is Spain. Not one of the best tracks for a couple of guys, but of course, you have these guys saying, yeah, this is not my track, and this and that. But you know what? Before you in favor ones who win it. So let's see who's got the cement bags and who actually got real pace, and yeah. So with that said, Q1 is underway. A couple of guys out already. Safwan, not Fernando, Moto DW, of course, and there we go. As I say, more guys going out. Only Lama, Gapig, and Boinky's not out as yet. And yes, for those of you who's actually watching the stream regular, who knows the setup, the guys who race here, your eyes are not deceiving you. That is definitely Vermont. Vermont is making an appearance tonight, believe it or not. I was not sure if we would see him this season, of course, not part of it last season. But welcome Vermont. Always nice to see a old familiar name there. Of course, previous champion as well. Nice to see these guys actually making a guest appearance on the odd occasion when they can. Like we might have like a sound glitch again, not getting the vehicle volumes and stuff coming through. Just changing this. Of course, there's no Staffy tonight, so we could talk about tires. Gapig now also on the outlap, still Lama and Boinkies to go out. Oh, 5-place grid penalty. Raptor actually colliding there with his teammate. Raptor, of course, reserve driver here, driving Ferrari. Bit of a misunderstanding there between the two. And what a way to come back. 119.8 Moto DW. Just for South wanted to go faster there. 500. False, of course, damage to that in-plate tray. Yeah, RGDV also, both of them actually damaged. Fast on the left, RGDV on the right. Both of them have missing in plates. So surely both Ferraris will come to the pit, provided they can keep the car on track, of course. No downforce. Sure, even if teammates, I think there might be some words afterwards between these two. Very competitive drivers. Not Fernando, surely that was just a bit of a banker lap. Because I'm sure Fernando can go faster than that. Let's wait to see as the session progresses. Fortunately, a lot of guys experiencing some load shedding. Some of the guys here, oh, and not Fernando retires. Not sure, there might have been some damage to that car, and of course no downforce, just went on. So a lot of guys but victim of load shedding. Not sure if they have load shedding. A couple of guys might have load shedding during the race, so might see guys disappearing later. Of course, a couple of guys will be joining a bit late. There's Nesmax, he's watching his favourite team. They want to watch the game first, then he'll race. So yeah, so let's hope a couple of guys do make it from now till race. Gap pictures 1 lap, but no time, so might have been an invalid lap time. Just see what the P can do. course, going back to Ferraris, both of them left the pits almost at the same time, so close to each other on track. So there was always a possibility that there might be some contact if one make a mistake. Ooh, and there was a big moment there for Kyle, unless he just saw Gaffney coming, because knowing he's the guy in the hot lap and just got out of his way. Gaffney goes second fastest for now, 119.6. I don't want to jinx it that I want to talk too soon, but can we see the real peak tonight? Actually finishing a race and even finishing right there at the top. Of course, only 9 drivers, well 8 now left, and if it doesn't increase from now till race, then there's good opportunity tonight for points. And I believe Williams would love to get some points here tonight. Of course, Gaffney's teammate also MIA tonight. Riding on board with a mod now, behind Boinkies. Boinkies, of course, on an outlap. There we go, Boinkies will just make sure he gets out of his way. Of course, Motor DW is the faster car. And as always, of course, just a reminder for all of you watching, feel free to join in. Of course, it's a bit quiet at the moment, no background noise there as you can hear. Feel free to join the chat, post your comments there, always nice to hear from you guys. Lama at the moment in 4th, originally would have not made the race, not sure what happened there, but good to see he decided to join. All things just turned out that, in his favour, that he can make it. Kyle Helginger, of course, I didn't believe that was a true reflection of his speed. That was just a, maybe slow lap, and of course recorded as a time. So let's see what he do now. Both Ferraris out again. Like they're also on, both of them on hot laps actually. Was it the V in the first one out? Yeah, luckily this time around they're not that close to each other. Oh, NRGDV losing it, that back end stepping out there. Comes past, Kyle Helginger. NRGDV getting it back on track, and yes, he will. Kyle Helginger very cautious through that chicane. Of course, the chicane is known to catch out the drivers. Gaffney back out on track as well. Raptor goes second, 119.3. Yo, people, look at that, 119.338 versus Quintus 119.337, 1/1000th of a second. And of course Boinkies will say, no, what the hell, I don't need 1/1000th of a second, I will just go faster with 1/10, 119.2. Of course, all cars here, provided nobody crash out, all drivers will actually go through to the next session, and of course pretty much these guys will also be there in Q3, because guys joining now will not be able to participate in qualifying, so they will only be here once the race starts. So no need to really push around, because all of these guys are safe if you look at the numbers. So it's just about, maybe get some laps under your belt, or just wait for the clock to run out. A little over 7.5 minutes still to go. Hey, Mr. Boucher, hello, nice to hear from you. A couple of complications, guys away on work. Unfortunately, there is guys that are out of town because of work commitments, so not able to race tonight. There is a bit of there's a bit of load shedding scares as well. Not sure about some of the other guys. But yeah, that's the biggest reason: load shedding and of course work commitments. And not sure if Wazzy got hijacked tonight, because we were looking forward to TNB Wazzy to show up tonight. Looking at the standing teammate you have tonight, unfortunately it did not happen. You know what, Mr. Boucher, you're more than welcome if you want to come in, by all means, airspace. Of course, you will not be able to participate in quali, but you will be able to race. Of course, EH Boucher did race with us before. Oh, and RZDV, pretty much the same place as a lap or two ago. That Ferrari's just not working for him, especially in that section of the track. Just can't keep that back end on the road. But he did improve on his lap time. Didn't see that. He's on a 120.8. So as much as he's losing it, he's also improving on his time. No need to be mad, of course, as we said. Just need to make sure he finish. Just to make sure you don't run out. Yeah, by all means, Mr. Boucher, by all means. Like I say, it's not the first time you did do a season with us before, so it's fine. Always nice to see your old face back. So then it's like pretty much like with Moto DW tonight. It's a return of a couple of the old faces. Just under 5.5 minutes left. Of course, Boinky's said he's done enough. Of course, no need. All of them actually done enough, so they all can actually choose to retire because they knowing they will all go through to the next session. Here comes RZDV, Carl, just getting out of the way there for him. Yeah, but Yui, you've got time. It's only Q1, so there's still some time for you. Let's just hope you did the update to the game, because there was like an 800 meg update. New patch coming out this week. A couple of guys who were not online earlier, like yours truly, had to quickly rush to update before the start of the race. See Mr. Boucher is still sporting his TNB logo there. Of course, no Steffi tonight, so not sure about weather. If any of the other drivers listening, it would be nice to, if some of you can just give us an indication what the weather predictions are like for the race. At the moment, of course, in quali it's overcast, and Spain is known for rain as well, and of course in a wet Spain is not an easy track. See what RZDV do this time. Yeah, he goes into the 119s, of course, so it's pretty much from 1 to 6 all in the 119s. So RZDV pretty much now on the pace. And not been much between him and Moto DW, of course, just 0.02 of a second. Guys keeping it close tonight, of course, like Quinton and Raptor there up front. 1,000. Gap picking the pits, I think he pretty much might be done. Lama and Carl also in the pits. The Mott, Moto DW, of course, out on outlap. See, of course, what he can do. Just get a feel for it again. Been a while since he's been on track, so he will use this as a bit of practice. He's getting used to it. Don't really lose it, of course. You've been doing it long enough. Just need obviously a couple of laps just for that muscle memory. Here we go, a few adjustments and he let it go. Full max power. Let's see what the mod can do. Ooh, put it a bit on the grass there. Hopefully that don't cost him too much. Thank you, Quentin. Thanks, Quentin. Of course, Quentin just saying we are in for a dry race, so no rain predicted. Yui, I'm not sure what to talk about, a 20 gig update. No, F1 would have been only 800 meg, nothing like gigabyte. Unless you've been on the game a very long time ago. But I still don't believe all the patches combined is 20 gig, but anyway. Jamba Lama on our outlap, just under a minute to go. DW, of course, will be on board with. That's pretty much who's left. DW dives back into the pit. And Raptor also now retires. Of course, he had enough. Same here with Motor DW. Waiting for a couple of these guys to finish. If all of them retire, of course, that will end the session. Gav pick now as well. Just waiting for RZDV, Carl and Quentin. There's no, it's just Lama that's on track, of course. Not sure why would you want to go out again. That's late in the session. Of course, you don't really need to risk it because you're already through to the next session. Well, looks like Mr. Butcher will not be able to make it for some reason. The 20 gig update, and he did race earlier this week, so that surely it can't be. That's not right. Racing earlier this week, it would have been only the new patch, which is the one released earlier this week. Wow, he is doing weird stuff. And at the right at the end of the session, we finally get the sound back. Right at the end of the session. Now we can hear the cars again. So this is all part of this new patch that was actually released this week. So let's see if we perhaps lucky with some sound into the next session. See, both Ferraris actually have a 5-place grid penalty. Yeah, both of them got penalized for contact here, of course. Right, just confirmation, but nothing serious. Of course, just the 9 drivers that we had to start with at the beginning of the session. Of course, only Victor really, not Fernando. He will not be participating in quali any further.
I don't get it. Why Emily? Graham said she was a powerful witch after the Civil War days, and the medallion was hers. And it all started when we left the race. Okay, what does Graham say about it? She's gonna tell me to win.
Right, and Q2 is pretty much underway. Clock started counting down. See if the guy's gonna fly out there or we're just gonna sit tight a little bit. Because this is where Staffy would have always watched. Lama going out. Different tire strategies, I'm not sure. I don't think that is one way specifically what we're highlighting now. Don't think that will be real. Probably going to change before he goes out. Victor and Quentin. We're only 2 not out as yet. Let's see what RZDV can do. Can he actually go faster? Get it back up here with the top 3-4 drivers. Compete with him. Still early days. We'll see how this one unfolds. Lama actually driving back into the pit. Boinky's obviously released, he's gonna go and actually start the first hot lap. Motor DW following in close pursuit. We also got Carl on hot lap as well now. And Gaffick also starts a hot lap. Of course, the news that broke today, the same car here, of course, the Racing Points from 2021, they will no longer be known as Racing Point, they will be known as Aston Martin Racing. Of course, Lawrence Stroll, owner of the team, of course dad to Lance Stroll, bought a big stake in Aston Martin. All confirmed on social network today, so yeah, something to look forward to, and also a prediction, early prediction released on the color scheme for next year, moving away completely from the pink. So yeah, some interesting times ahead. See how this one unfolds, and of course driver lineup and stuff, etc. Of course is also going to be interesting. Boinky's 122.1, of course I don't think that is pretty much his real time, because he did a 119 on the softer tyre, but of course I think even on this tyre he can go faster, just as Motor DW proved, a 120.3, almost a full 2 seconds faster than Boinky's. So I expect Boinky to go faster, and then RZDV actually, there we go, so RZDV can actually get in there with it, he can get in there with the top dogs and give him a hard time. 120.1. Gaffick, he might have had a bit of a mishap here or something, because that's way off, and we know he can do better. He can go faster. Lama back on track. See if he can actually. Yeah, he changed tires. I think that's why he actually dived in and didn't wanted to post a lap, because obviously your fastest lap, that's the tires you're going to have to start with, so he decided not to post a time and jumped in for the other tires. Quentin also now on track, just Carl and Raptor still in the pit. DW coming back in. Sounds like RZDV is also slowing down, not really gunning it. But of course you have your lap on, you don't need to do anything further, and of course with only 8 drivers, all of them will progress. It's all about getting to Q3 and then really going for that pole position shootout. 10 minutes left, so still plenty of time of course here as well. And Gaffick, there we go, as I said, he can go faster, and he does actually prove me right, he does go faster. 119.6. And Boinky's decided that no, what, that's fine. He have a time, he will leave it for Q3 before he starts really pushing. So the only man who didn't blink, and as I say he didn't blink, he's about to blink. There we go, Raptor finally coming out. Which you in the background, Lama of course coming down the home straight. 125.6. Won't be surprised if more guys actually retire. Not going to really worry about it now. First, of course, is just to post a time and that tyres that you did it on is what you're going to start on. So you don't want to take out too much out of that set of tyres. Otherwise, you can find yourself having to stop very quick, very soon. And actually, just going back here to Quinton, it actually does prove me wrong. I said earlier I don't expect him to go out on that set of tyres. Maybe it's just, while he's sitting there, and he actually did go out on those tyres. Something completely different compared to the rest of the grid. He's obviously thinking long game here. Of course, the race winner last week in Baku, he and Raptor battled it out in the front. Raptor lost a bit of time when he had to pit for a new wing, ultimately which promoted Quinton into first after he came out following his pit stop. And yeah, the two were pretty much like close to each other, 2 seconds, but sometimes as close as 1 second. Good race. Always nice to see wheel-to-wheel action as well. So let's wait to see, but I expect we might see some of the same tonight. But he's definitely going for the longer game here. Start on the harder tyre, take it deep, and then of course just one stop, go into the softer tyres, and then go crazy. Of course with lap times. But of course, to make that strategy work, you need to be able to get away and get away cleanly, and hope that someone else don't drive into you. Always a bit. I almost want to say sad, but no, that's not really the word. You feel gutted. Starting on a strategy like this, you want to go on the harder, you want to go longer, just for an early incident to change it all around. And then one stop might actually turn into a 2 stop. So yeah, let's all hope, of course, nothing like that happens tonight. Gaff Peak also feels he's done enough. Of course, we have done enough. Just no need for him to hang around, waiting for the next session. I'm out on track. Unfortunately, Mr. Boucher will not be able to join us for some reason. His game wants a 20 gig update. Not sure exactly what's happening there. So hopefully he will be part of the stream hopefully. So let's see. Lama also now retiring. Raptor 119.9, 3/10 of the peak. You will be happy with that, but of course it's all about Q3. Then you're going to really see who's been sandbagging or cement bagging, and who were actually on the true pace. Of course, Raptor just making it back to the pits. Of course, as you can see, going slowly. Guillet is not really pushing that car. Just over 5 minutes left Q2. Spain, of course, one of those tracks that can be rewarding, but equally at the same time be punishing. You can be fast, it can all come together, or one slight error and it goes horribly wrong. A couple of guys also not comfortable with us, not one of our favorites as we call it. But as I said at the beginning almost here at the stream, a couple of guys will always say, yeah, not my favorite track, and then it's those exact guys that's actually the ones doing the best on the night. So let's wait and see who actually do what as this unfolds. Raptor now retired, he had enough. Carl coming into the pits. He might also think retirement, wait for Q3 and have a go. Don't think Quinton will go out again. And also no blink there from RJDV and Moto DW, so let's see. Waiting for the drivers here. Just over 3.5 minutes. So just the 4 guys still on there. There we go, Quentin, that's it. We've tried. Leaves RZDV, Motor DW, and Kyle.
Very young, black guy. Yeah, that's what it is. Are you in the North Carolina Music Farm album or anything?
There we go. RZDV also. Just Motor DW and Carl left. Okay, here we go. Carl's retired. We're just now waiting for Motor DW. I don't think he's gonna go out, so you might as well just do the same, and Q3 will be on us maybe sooner than what we anticipated.
Honey, look, it's just not me. Hey, I don't believe in that. Ooh.
There is still time to get out and come around for one hot lap.
And then that's all it takes for me to jump on board. I think we really need him staying in the snow, but Elena's in the snow tonight. I don't know how that is supposed to be. I mean, listen.
Just hope the power, of course, stays stable tonight, and that these guys actually can finish. The last thing you want is to lead a race, for argument's sake, and then your power goes out. Right, here we go. The mod decided finally enough is enough. Of course, nothing to say. Everybody already knows all 8 drivers are through. And although Gafik is sitting there in first for now, of course, it's all about Q3. Then we'll know for sure who's first and who's not. Of course, pole position does mean a bonus 5 points, so it's worth actually going for pole. And fastest lap also, just while we talk about bonus points, fastest lap also give you 1 bonus point. That is for the F1 race, and of course also fastest lap in the F2 race gives you a bonus point. Those new to the stream, of course, we do 50% race distance F1, 50% race distance F2. Of course, the F2 race is just a reverse order from how they finish here in F1. No quali there, but of course both of them also have formation laps. Okay, a couple of cars already firing up. Ferrari is one of them. This time around, Raptor's not going to wait till the end, he's going to get out there. This time you want to get out early, and of course so is Boinkies. The pig is actually the first guy out from track. Pig, Raptor and Boinkies. Oh, and the pig actually messed it up there. Oh, and he's got wing damage. Getting on the throttle just too early on that outlap. Gonna have to nurse it back to the pit, get a new wing, and then try again. Carl and RZDV, the guys who decided not to get out as yet. Let these guys go and of course have fun. And maybe, you know, if they get tangled up, last thing you want is to be tangled up there with him. Boinkies and Raptor sticking close, so they're obviously going to do their fastest laps, their hot laps pretty much at the same time. Not going to see much of a uh, gap between them, of course, on track wise. A couple of guys very eager to get it going. Here we go, Kyle is actually out on track now as well. Just RGDV who's still waiting for the right time. Raptor coming around to start his hot lap. Of course, way in front you can see Boinkies who started his. And Llama actually following Raptor. Of course, one of the advantages of the race where the turnout is as little as tonight, you have a very good opportunity at points. It's all about just, staying patient. And of course, you just need to make sure that you finish the race. But points are always up for grabs here. And there's always that opportunity that, for you to grab points should someone else actually get tangled up with another driver. Of course, you just make sure that you avoid it and keep it clean. So who will be our pole setter after Q3? For those of you who are brave enough to make a prediction, please feel free to do so. Of course, previous two races saw different pole sitters, not the same person, and of course tonight will be a different pole sitter as well. Boinky is doing a 118.9, Raptor 119.1, there's Llama 120.29. Let's see what Quinton managed to do here. Goes fourth for now, 119.7. I think he will just go out, go around the track, come back, maybe a new set of boots, and go out again. Ooh, RGDV on track. He's just on the outlap. Luckily, I was just about to say the two Ferraris are close with each other again, but it was just RGDV who actually going slow on his outlap, just moving over for them to all get past him. Motor DW also in the 119.1s. 600s of course there between him and Raptor at the moment. Ooh, Raptor now. Definitely Raptor vs Ferrari is becoming a handful in this section. Now we saw both Ferraris actually leaving the track in this section. Not sure, it might also be he chosen to do so to get out of the way of the peak, not sure. Right, and here goes Mr. Peak starting another hot lap. Can he keep it together this time? Also a bit tricky here, if you give too much throttle you can lose it here, as he found out the hard way just now when he went out at the start of the session. Keeping it clean this time, hooking up the corner, so far so good. A lot of course, this first sector does really set up the rest of your lap. If you have a good clean fast sector one, you're already on your way. Okay, looking up the apex there, keeping it clean, no wobbling, steady. There we go. You could have heard you could hear there you did lift up a little bit. Of course, rather than giving it too much and then losing it, as we saw earlier. RGDV also running wide, but at that time he also had wing damage, so it's not worth going flat out on that corner and then losing it. So far so good, just a gaff peak. Chicane of course actually have a tricky part, take a bit more of a curve, but he manages to go through there. Comes around for the last corner, let's see what the peak does, and the peak goes fastest, 118.4, and it's game on. Boinkies have his work cut out if he wants to get pole. Of course, in race one he was also very close to pole, but the dog Staffy had other ideas. Gaff Peak and Boinkies the only guys into the 118s. Gav Peak more towards the lower 118s, where Boentjie's in the higher 118s. So far we got Lama at Lama, the only guy in the 120s. Carl at the moment the 121, everyone else 119 and below. Quentin slightly improving on his time, 119.2. Just under 5 minutes now to go. Things heating up. Surely a couple of these guys can have another go at it. Quentin already 3 laps on this tyres. Of course, you can give it all because this is not the tyre he's going to start on. But of course, with 3 laps, also you're taking out, you're wearing it, so it's not going to be as fast as it used to be. Okay, that might be confidence, or he's realizing he will not be able to do any better than that. Gav Peak deciding that enough is enough, he's retiring. 4 tenths between him and Boentjie at the moment, so let's see if Boentjie can do something about it. RZDV comes into the pits just as his teammate Raptor is also out on another hot lap. Will RZDV have another go? There's still enough time. Because if you have a quick turnaround guard, immediately pretty much will have time for 2 hot laps. Motor DW also on out lap. There we go, Boentjie, see what he can do to chase down the Peak. Can he do better? Just slowing down. Yeah, here we go, waiting for the mod to come through. Raptor keeping it clean in that corner this time round. Not running off this time. Can he improve on his time? And Raptor goes second, 118.7. Going slower, maybe he's just holding back a bit so he can go around and then have one more go. Because if he goes around slowly, that leaves him still with enough time for one hot lap. Let's see what he decides to do. And Quentin is going out again. Lama through the chicane into the final corner. Can he improve on his time? He does improve, but he still stays in 7th. Very low 1 minute 20s. Carlos now on our lap again. RZDV still in the pits. Boentjie's still now behind Quentin there as well. We've got Motor DW pretty much leading it for those 3 cars. See what times these guys can come up. Maybe catch a bit of tow from the guy in front of you. See a little bit wide. RZDV retiring. Chose not to go out again. See what can Boentjie do. Now he dives back into the pits. Oh no, this is not good. He will not be able to come out and do another lap. Just a minute left, and as you can see there, a good lap time, a solid lap time is a 118.9, and he will not be able to get out there and do another lap. So unfortunately, that pretty much leaves him in 3rd. Raptor also retired. Both him and Gav Peak happy with their time. RZDV retired. Now Boentjie will probably also retire because his qualifying is over. So let's see what Motor DW and Quinton can do. Lama also on the pitch, he will not be able to do any go further. And Carl Haltinger, he leaves the session, which means that's a connection issue. So, yeah, and what a time to actually lose connection. 15 seconds to go. You need to be in the lobby by the time the race starts. If you're not in as it goes from Q3 to the race, unfortunately you will not be in the race. Can Motor DW improve? And he does. He actually takes that third place there from Boinkies. So Motor DW will start to say, oh, and that's not going to help him to improve any further. Puts a wheel on the grass again. But then again, you don't know what he do further if he can get that time back. No, he decided to call it quits as well. But solid third place, must say, well done there, Vermont. After a long absence, come back and he puts it in third place. Here we go, just confirmation of how it ended. Carl Halsinger is joining VIC, so let's hope it's enough to make sure he starts the race. Gav Peak, your pole sitter with Raptor in second place and Quinton third. And if memory serves me correct, Raptor was also pretty much there in second or up there last week. So Quinton actually managed to sneak third there in the end, taking the third away from DW. But just 2/2000ths of a second. Very, very, very close. Boinkies, of course, dropped down to fifth. Great section, and there we go. Well done, the peak. Does this mark the return of the peak? Well, we would hope so. Of course, if a peak, he's got his head right and everything works out. It's always nice to have a peak where he can actually take the fight to the guys. So it would be nice to see the peak back. But of course, he's not known for patience. And if he makes one hasty move, that will be pretty much his race also bugged. So let's hope he keeps it together and have a good race. Of course, just waiting for everybody to ready up. Just finalizing their race strategies and stuff here. And we actually have no one else who joined by the looks of it. And Carl Haltinger did not rejoin in time. Or did he? Actually, yes, he did. So pretty much the same 9 drivers we started Q1 with. No new drivers who joined who just missed quali. So unfortunately, only 9 races. So everyone who finished will get points. Of course, we must just make sure they finish first. Of course, Quinton is the one on the harder tyre. He's not going to be the fastest out of the blocks, but of course he's going to run deeper, provided no damage or stuff at the beginning. So he won't be two-faced if the guys come past him, of course, and get away from him into that first corner. He's playing the longer game here tonight. Raptor just running out of position at the moment with a formation lap. RZB running with the back at the moment, happy to do that. Not sure if we have Carl Halsing on board or not. There's a bit of ghosting on that vehicle. Right, here we go, everybody's coming through the finals to that chicane. Of course, the famous Spain chicane. It's so easy to bug up your entire lap or even race on that section. Right, around the final corner they come. Let's just wait for them to line up and then we will be on our way. And here we go. Showing lights out, you just see red B, red light B. So here we go. 5 lights, and we are racing. Carl Elsinger with a drive-through penalty for jumping the start. On Motor DW already there in the back of Gafpeak and Quinton Hayter. He's definitely, you want to have a look there. Gafpeak brave on the brakes, as well as DW going on the outside there of Quinton. He's going to make it sick. Yes, Quinton down to third, DW into second. Gafpeak still there in front. Boink is now also pressuring Quinton. Of course, we did say he's going to be probably under pressure, or guys running away from him, looking at the tyre difference. But of course, you need to think longer strategy as well, which is what he's doing. Of course, a 33 lap race, it's not going to be one into that first few corners, but you can sure lose the race into those first few corners. Elsewhere on the field, of course, Boinky still there in fourth. Pajama Lama in fifth now, not Fernando running sixth. We've got RJDV in seventh, Carl Helting at the back, and Raptor at the moment, that explains it. Raptor, of course, dropping down, and Carl Helting leave the session again. Yeah, Raptor dropping down, front wing damage, end plate missing. Ninth place will still give him points, but of course, before you give up, there's still pretty much 33 laps remaining. Just make sure you bring the car to the pit so you get the newer wing. Change the strategy, put on a set of hard tyres and just go out there. Of course, keeping it clean now on the harder tyre, you can actually gain positions when everybody else starts pitting. So it's not all lost. I've seen guys win races from this position before. Carl's got into the pits, that is just confirmation of the AI having control of that vehicle. He did leave a session, and I didn't see him come back as yet. And if he did, I don't think he would have pitted so soon. RZDV chasing, not Fernando there. Not Fernando, of course, wanting to get there with Lama. Right at the back of Poinkies, who's also keeping Quinton honest. Meantime, the Motor DW sneaking closer and closer there to the pig. Of course, Motor DW, lots of experience. It's not going to risk it all in just one or two corners. He's been around long enough to know when's the right opportunity to strike. Check out your opponent in front of you, line him up, and at the right time you punch. You will be there to keep the peak honest. Who actually do go quickest for now, 122.6. Of course, these two have raced like this before. It's pretty much like all times. Boinkies made it into third now, finally past Quinton. Lama now also trying to put Quinton under pressure. He will try to also make a move. Boinkies now will try to get away from the two of them and chase after Motor DW. Gapig opening up a gap to Motor DW, just over a second now. Not Fernando, we only go on soft tyres. Hoping for a fast start, and of course making up some places here at the beginning on that set of tyres. Getting away from RZDV in the process. No, doesn't look like that car. That car was definitely not reclaimed. No, looks like the car was into the pits again. Just came out of a pit lane as we joined the car. Definitely AI in control of that vehicle. So safe to say, yeah, we don't have Carl Helsinger with us anymore. Unfortunate. So we're down to 8 drivers. Always unfortunate to see, you know, never nice to view. I've been there myself. Not like a feeling right before the start of a race you have a disconnect. You've absolutely got it. You want to take this game and use it as a frisbee if you're running from a disc. Yeah, it's just about, you know, putting it behind you. bring our next race. Of course, the nice thing about it, there's still the F2 race. He can still rejoin there and hopefully get some points in the F2 race. Raptor now goes fastest. He actually decided to go on the medium tyres and not on hards. So, and he actually put a nice lap time in there, just showing everybody he's still there. Because if he can keep it clean, keep focus, head stays where it is need to be, he can still make up time. Not Fernando down to 7. Oh, and front wing is missing. Big moment there for Not Fernando. Oh, and drive through penalty, speeding under safety car. We actually have a safety car. Not sure if that was the Not Fernando incident that triggered it, or pretty much maybe, but I don't think it's going to be the AI though. So maybe that Not Fernando incident. Not sure if he and RGDV made contact. But something triggered the safety car, and that was pretty much the only car with damage. So Gav Peak actually getting a penalty for speeding under the safety car. Not a good move. You should have just watched that speed. And of course now with a safety car, everybody will pretty much be bunched up. So much for that early gaps that everybody did early. So you open up the gap and then unfortunately boom, gap's over thanks to the safety car. Of course someone who's going to be very happy about this is Raptor. But early pit stop, I think everybody's getting away from him now. He's actually chasing down everybody, but he's dives into the pits again. Not sure what this is about. If he decided to change strategy or if it's a nose change or so. No, he decided to change strategy. He goes on to the hard tyres, something he might have actually should have done when he stopped the first time for that win. Now he goes on the hard tyres, so of course he's using the safety car here. He will catch the pack, of course. He can go at a much greater speed than him. So if he can catch the pack, he will pretty much be right there with him by the time the safety car comes in. Of course there's that ghost car of Carl, which unfortunately that car's not in the race anymore. Not Fernando will also be smiling thanks to the with a safety car. Had to pit, but of course now with a safety car he can still catch up with these guys. Coming around the final corner just now. Come to the start finish straight. Not Fernando just goes into sector 3. If he can make it, if he can push it, if he can really push it, he and Raptor, then they can actually catch up, but they're gonna have to push. Motor DW also seeing the opportunity into the pit onto the harder tyres. If he can make this last, there's no need to stop again. So I can see why Raptor stopped again and now Motor DW, because they can actually make it through to the end. Boink is now promoted into second, so he's going to be there with a peak when the race resumes. Quentin still on his hard tyres. Would not want to stop now because that will render his strategy in vain. Render it nice and void. Null. So I don't think he would want to stop now, even if the temptation is there. Lama promoted into 4th now with RGTV in 5th. Motor DW closing right at the back on that Ferrari again. There we go, he had his pit done. So he already changed compound, so he's pretty much adhering to requirements, so you don't need to stop again if he can make his tyres last. Oh, and Raptor now leave the session. Wonder if that is load shedding. He actually did mention he might be a candidate for load shedding tonight. And smack on 9 o'clock he leaves the session, so that might actually be Eskom doing its business. So unfortunately we will not see Raptor. There we go, just confirmation that that car is ghosting, so both that Alpha and the Ferrari of Raptor is ghosting. 5-second penalty now for RGDV exceeding track limits. So we're down to 7 riders. Pretty much all 7 are close together there thanks to the safety car. Staying out another lap for now. So the big winner I would say is not Fernando. Had to stop for a nose change, but with a safety car he manages to get right back up with these guys again. Moto DW made his stop. No need to stop again. Also with a safety car out, you also don't take that much out of your tyres. You see Nesmax joined, but unfortunately that would be too late. Laps, we're already on lap 7. But of course, as much as I said too late, there's still F2 after this, so just waiting for this to finish. Then there will be the slight pause on the stream for the lobby to be set up for F2, and then we will have a F2 race. Of course, reverse grid order from the finish here. So not sure if some force might join. If that's load shedding, unfortunately you will not. You will miss F2 as well. On a night like this where you actually have opportunity for good points, and then you unfortunately get buggered by other factors. But the DW now with a 5-second penalty, also exceeding track limits. So here RGDV and Gafpeak pretty much cancelling each other out on penalties. Just confirmation there at the bottom, safety car in this lap. So there's still Quinton and Boinkies who don't have any penalties yet. Boinkies are very well known for having no penalties at the end of a race. So with these guys in front of him having penalties, that plays well into his hands. But of course, if someone like, for Peak for argument's sake, with a penalty can now get away and build a gap, he can actually cancel it out. Right, just the Peak just bunching up the pack here. So to our team come around the chicane, final corner, and now obviously you will be gunning it. Managing to pull away there from Boinkies. Gap still straight, still opening. Of course Williams, who can do with a good win. It's been a while since Williams had a proper win. Can the Peak give it to them? Quinton hanging on there with Boinkies on the other tyre, but he's keeping him honest for now. Pajama Lama dropping off a little bit, under pressure from RZDV and Moto DW. Not Fernando, just hanging a little bit back. Of course, should something go wrong here, which is so easy and it's so possible to happen, he would not want to be part of it, and obviously he will gain positions. So yeah, Quinton retired. No, it looks like he maybe just too much accelerator around that curve. So pretty much we saw some of the guys like RGDV run off in quali, but of course he had no front wing. So I'm not sure if he might have had some damage or it was just purely, and it is possible that that exact corner you carry speed, and if you get onto the accelerator just too quick, it will actually send you straight into the barriers, and once that end starts out, you're actually pretty much just a spectator. There's no way you're bringing that car back. Know that feeling. Tough luck, Quinton. So which means we actually have a possibility to have 3 different winners, and of course the third race only. We already had 3 different pole sitters, so pretty much a very interesting start to the season. Point is now just over a second behind Gafpeak. Of course, now with Quinton retiring, that gives him a bit of breathing space. Lama not able to keep up with that pace. Still you have RGDV and Moto DW. See if they can put him under pressure. So we're down to 6 drivers. Of course, Raptor and Carl, those are both ghosting cars, as you can see there. So those unfortunately will not be points. And of course, Quinton, true retirement so far, first of course. Still another 34 laps to go after this. That's 24, sorry, 24. Of course, just to mention, with this battle, RZDV, Lama and Moto DW battle, Moto DW is on the harder tyre, so these two will have to stop when he can carry on. gap now in the front over 2 seconds. Gaffbeek really biting down here, focusing, pushing. We all know he can do that. He just, if he gets focused and turned on, he can really give good results. Let's see, pick up a bit of determination tonight, so let's hope it's real and it stays. Boinkies of course won the first race. Back there all the way in China. We would not want Gaffbeek to get away from him. As I say that, he did close down the gap there. Drama Lama keeping it steady there at the 4-second mark, but yeah, he also got both RZDV and MotoDW to contend with. I don't think he appreciated having his mirrors full of those two, the red and the yellow. Of course, those two also keeping each other honest. We have the honest to have a go here at Lama. Right around the final corner, DRS will open. See if they can do something. You can Lama fend them off. And MotoDW going inside, no, just not enough. Gaffbeek have pitted, that promotes Boinkies to first for now. Gaffbeek goes out on the mediums again, so he's going to have another stop. Not confident to go into the hard tyres and maybe see it through to the end. You'd rather choose the softer tyre and have better pace. Because the only one here in front and hard at the moment will be MotoDW. Boinkies still to stop. So yeah, different strategies plenty tonight. Hey, tough luck, Quinton. Sorry, man. But yeah, as you say, if that back end steps out, especially at that specific corner, once it steps out, there's no coming back. You just pretty much a spectator. That same awkward feeling of like aquaplaning on a wet track. RZDV, try. Lama just not making it easy. Not giving him enough opportunity. Just a little sniff, but not enough. Here we go, around final corner to the start finish. Can something be done this time? Because this is the only true battle happening at the moment. Oh, Lama weaving, trying to fend him off. RZDV is going to have a go on the inside. And also DW wanting to have a look, but not enough space for this time, so he's going to have to wait a little bit, be patient. Of course, he's on the slower tyre again, so no need to be hasty. RZDV would want to get away here from Lama so he can put some distance between him and DW. DW diving on the inside. Can he make it stick? Yeah, he can. Pushing Lama a little bit wide there. Butt contact there, but doesn't look like anything serious. But it also looked like they're coming down the home straight. There might have been a bit of weaving there as well from Lama trying to fend them off, but he couldn't. So Lama dropping 2 places in a couple of corners this time. So DW released now, so he will be chasing again after RZDV. Boinkies still not into the pits yet, he's staying out there. Tom quietly, Mr. Not Fernando, did actually catch up with Pajama Lama, who's now diving into the pit, so that will promote Not Fernando to 4th for now. RZDV and Boinkies need to stop. MotoDW, we're like 9 seconds just behind Boinkies, so if the 2 in front stop, which can be any time from now, that will promote him into 1st. Gaffbeek at the moment we're in 5th, shows 12 laps on those tyres, but surely that's not right because he did stop. Because if he didn't change tyres, why would he have stopped? So surely that's a bit of information where it can't be right. Just putting the track map on there so you can see who's where on the track, and actually Gaffney comes back into the pit. So I'm not sure if there was a confusion with him and the race engineers, but looks like the tyres did not change. Because Pajama Lamy coming around that final corner, he's going to go down start finish line now. And he takes 5th. There we go. Boinky's also well in the pits, he's out on the hard tyres now, so he's going through to the end. The Moto DW a couple of laps longer on those tyres, but he can still make it last, of course, till the end. RZDV will need to pit soon. Got Fernando up in the mix as well. Silently promoted there to 3rd now. Okay guys, it's just going to be a short pause, blackout quickly here on this the stream. Just bear with me for a second. Right, and we are back, just trying to see if we can get Quentin in here, get some comments from him. Of course, always nice to have some guest commentary, keeps it a bit interesting and not just so single-toned, one voice. As I said, there we go, Mr. Quentin joining. Tough luck, not the best place, but of course that is also one of the trickiest corners on this track. Caught out many drivers, and unfortunately tonight you were one of them. There we go, I can hear you. Just to confirm, Quentin, sorry to interrupt you, just check your mic is on broadcast, your settings correct? Just check, because otherwise you're going to talk me and you, and it's going to sound weird on the stream because we're not going to hear you. Just while he's sorting out stuff, not Fernando still there, keeping it solid in 3rd. Moto DW with RZDV as he dives into the pits to make his one and only stop. Of course, RZDV will be on the better rubber at the end of the race, was obviously stopping late. But of course, those guys stopping more than once will have to stop again. RZDV just serving a penalty there by the looks of it. Of course, that will be for that 5-second infringement earlier for the track limits, of course. Right, Quentin, when you're ready, you let me know. Lama coming down now, RZDV behind him again, so he's pretty much going to have to do it from scratch. So yeah, as we were saying, well, that corner, of course, caught out many drivers before, and tonight, unfortunately, it was your turn.
Yeah, silly mistake. Too much acceleration, cold tires. Yeah, once it starts sliding, you can't stop it.
Unfortunately, it's one of those corners. If you have a little bit, just too much momentum, that accelerator, you just plant it too early. Then unfortunately, that's it. And we lost not Fernando. Oh no.
Same place.
Yeah, that corner is unforgiving. Unfortunately, once you start sliding, it's over. There we go, just confirmation of that Merc stranded there. Same place, unfortunately. He just somehow bounced back on track. You on the other end stayed on the grass. Didn't look like much damage on your car, but unfortunately just enough to take you out completely.
Yeah, right wheel off.
Yeah, well, tough one. But yeah, I've been there myself, I know. Once it slides there, yeah, but you know, bye-bye, game over.
Yeah.
Ooh, huge corner there for Lama. Just taking too much of the apex, that car almost flying over that corner. RGDV will have his DRS wide open. We'll have another look. Can he make it stick? Gonna have a go on the inside. Can he outrace him into going? Yes, he will. RGDV back in front of Lama.
Good move.
Just waiting to see, of course, will Boinkies be able to chase down Moto DW? Of course, he have a fresher rubber. Everyone else pretty much stopped now. Everyone is on hard tires. Raptor, of course, is a ghost car. Carl is a ghost car, and then, of course, our two true retirements. So we pretty much got 5 drivers left. Of course, there's our 5th one. He is on hard tires because the graphic shows hard, but yet if you look on the car, it shows yellow, then it shows white. Yeah, so one of those nights again. Gatsby catching Lama. Not sure why he stopped the second time in short succession. Not sure if the tyres was changed, because it looked like he changed tyres, but yet the graphic showed the same laps as the leader. So yeah, not sure what happened there. Lama trying to have a go here to RGTV, not close enough. Moto DW opening up a gap slightly there to Boinkies. Because one thing about Boinkies, once you have a gap, you must try to keep it clean, because any penalty is placed into his hands. He's a guy well known not to pick up penalties. And I must say, surprise, surprise, laps actually, this was actually a quick race. The laps are flying past here. Just a moment ago the safety car was on track, and all of a sudden we're pretty much over halfway already. You can see there on that map there as well, you can see how close Gavpeak is. He's on the India of Lama. He will have DRS now. There we go, not Fernando also joining the party. Both my guest commentators tonight, both of them victims of retirement on the very same corner. Not Fernando, what happened with you?
I was just waiting for that to happen, really. I don't know if you saw much of me on screen, but if you did, there were certain corners there where I was getting the car sideways every lap, and it was bound to happen when you just take a little bit too much curb, and it was bound to happen.
Yeah, and of course, once you slide in that corner, being it too much throttle, being it you're already sliding, once you slide, it's tickets.
Still Formula 2 to come, so we'll have a second go at it. And
there we go, that's what I have to hear.
A slightly less powerful car, which might be...
Oh, Lama now, same corner, Lama now, there we go,
yeah,
first victim, same corner. Oh, and that pretty much is Lama's race done and dusted.
A lot of pressure on him from Gavin, that's why.
Yes. Looks like he did manage to keep the car going, but very severe damage to that front wing he will have to put. But well spotted there, Quinton. Pressure from the peak. The peak was really pushing him. He was going to come past no matter what. So Lama feeling the pressure, putting into the barrier. So that promotes the peak up into 4th now, chasing after RGDV.
And they're getting away with just for a second there. The lag made it look like he turned into the pit wall, but
must say, safety car actually played into your hands very nicely. Some early damage, not Fernando, but of course with a safety car you managed to get to the back of a grid, and of course you gain some positions. So you were in a very good position. So unfortunately,
I was concentrating. I think that is probably the furthest I've ever gotten in a Spanish Grand Prix. So,
and it must be said, he wasn't confident going into Spain.
My midweek racing equivalent of this race reached 5 laps.
Yo,
So
much further,
and
much
it, and it
further.
was, so for a second there, I thought I might actually finish this one with Spain.
Okay, there is 13 laps left. Not sure why Lama might have considered the softs. But then again, on the other side, only 12 or 13 laps on the medium when the guys already pitted. So don't think softs will see him through. But he's definitely on the softer tyres, so he might actually have some pace and try to chase down a couple of guys. Gap in front is now open to 15 seconds. Moto DW back with a bang.
It's quite interesting because he's got older tyres. I don't know if his tyres are going to look very well at the end.
It's definitely not going to be very well at the end. I think it might last, but it's not going to be that pretty. But somehow he still managed to open the gap. Of course, now we just see it coming down a bit. Gap pick, only guy gaining on RJDV. Yes, not Fernando.
Tell me now, is this new, or have I just not commentated on F1 in so long that I haven't noticed this? In
the little mini map.
Yeah, there's a mini map.
Yes,
that must be part of the patch, because I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's possible, and I actually only switched it on the first time tonight.
Okay.
So it's just to give everybody an idea, pretty much, if you can see who's who, and the color will show you where in track everyone is.
That's quite helpful.
So it actually also gives you pretty much the gap between them. RJDV will have his mirrors full of that Williams shortly. Gap now stabilizing at 14.8, 14.9 in front. Maybe 11 laps after this to go.
DW on his surprise return appearance must be thinking it's a walk in the park.
True that. I appear.
And this guy hasn't raced F1 in months. He did 6 laps of this when he got home.
We didn't see him last season. Like you say, pretty much 6 laps practice, and he was confident enough to come.
On his way home from work, stopped over here for a beer, and decided, you know what, I'm going to go home and I'm going to join.
And of course,
and,
last week
he did 6 laps, and that's it.
And of course, last week's race winner is with us here tonight in the comms box.
Oh, very different this week than last
so,
week, though.
So it means
difficult race to win that.
So as I said earlier, before you guys joined, interesting enough, 3 races, 3 different pole sitters, 3 different winners, if it stays like it is.
Yeah.
Gap that come down now, closer to 14 seconds now. Boinki's on the move. Of course, he is on the better tyres.
10 laps, 14 seconds. I don't know.
That was sure he must take out a second lap, and Gaffney goes fast as 122.3. Under 1.5 between him and RJDV now. So yeah,
that's gonna be it.
So that's well spotted there, Quinton. 14 seconds, 10 laps. More than a second a lap. So that means you're really going to have to push. So if you're going to do that, you're pretty much actually also going to be in the same position at the end. Not having good tyres left.
Exactly. I think you must hope for a mistake from MotoDV once the tyres wear out.
Lama still 45 seconds, so medium's not really making him fast enough to gain on the guys in front. RJDV didn't manage to open up a little bit to him and gap pick again.
RJDV also a driver on his return.
Yes, correct. For first race back, of course, we're out of town the first 2. Nice to see him back. Of course, also a previous winner.
The other cars are still ghosting,
And RJDV closed down Boinkies a bit.
Raptor was due to load shedding.
Yeah, Because exactly at 9 o'clock he left the session, and he did
You
say
knew
9
it was going
o'clock.
to happen.
Yeah, he did say there was load shedding. So Boinkies might still be lucky enough to finish because he was expecting load shedding as well. He might actually just miss the F2 race by the looks of it. So far so good.
Gavin, close to him now, 1.1 seconds, eh?
Getting, staying out. Just pretty much borderline for DRS. RGTV dropped off a little bit to Boinkies. But the DW is keeping that gap under control to him and Boinkies.
Keep your eyes on the battle for third. Just over a second. Good defensive driver coming up against quite an attacking driver. So you see something here between the Williams Mercedes. Yep, there's a Mercedes one.
Of course you will.
Chantal Kubica.
We know you supporting Mercedes.
Oh yeah, that's a Mercedes.
Gapik is now in DRS range. Surely he will get it onto the home straight you come. Or does he? Yep, he does. That
Yeah,
wing box open, but it's a bit of a fastest lap again, 121.9. That explains why he closed onto the Ferrari so easily. Is he going to dive on the inside? Very late move, but thought about it. Luckily, he thought about it. He didn't just stick it in there. Not being the typical pig we know.
Decided against it.
Of course, pig we know might have actually just dive bombed there, and it would have ended up in tears for both of them probably.
Sometimes making a move like that can just put the driver in front of you. It can put him off.
Correct.
And he naturally changes his line, and you weren't going to do that in the first place. You just wanted to see if you could get a reaction.
Exactly. Now he reacts. You actually do get your chance to pounce. And DW opened it up to over 15 seconds again. So as it is now, not much coming down. So he's pretty much safe. It's just about keeping it clean and managing it in front.
Just 0.3 of a second between those two. So when they come around again into that DRS zone, if Gavin can stay this close.
Okay, this time he's closer. He's much closer than the last time round. Coming through the chicane now. Just riding on board here with Gapik. Looking from his point of view. DRS will go wide open.
And the slipstream for as long as
Closing.
possible.
RGTV is going to go on the inside.
Gonna go outside.
Gapik will have a better line. Can he make it? Well, the good placement there from RGTV. Not Fernando did say it a lap or two ago. One of the better defensive drivers. It's going to take a lot to get past him. But how long can the pig stay patient? Not a guy that's well known for patience. Yep, there's confirmation there from Raptor. Raptor confirming what we already knew. Unfortunately, load shedding, he's a victim of that. But the time that he disconnected exactly 9 o'clock already, because it's always on the top of the hour.
Let's see.
Lama actually dropping further down. So those mediums are not really helping him. So it's just these guys in front are really pushing each other. That's the other thing as well. Gap in front is now 15.5. Instead of a gap closing, it's just opening. Not sure if DW might still have a 5-second penalty, so obviously he will also keep that in mind and make sure that there's enough gap to cover that. No need to tell him about how to manage the race and so forth. Of course, veteran, he's been in this position before, many a times.
Gavin again in the DRS, going to the inside and then tucking back behind the Ferrari. Sliding against enough. It wasn't close enough.
Not that time round, no.
It's quite crucial, I think, that he does get past because his tyres are 2 laps older than the car in front of him, and they could drop off slightly towards the end. So if he wants to get past, he should get past now.
Yes. But let's hope he doesn't get too hasty now here, because this is the last corner you want to do it. That lift there a little bit. Cautious. Staying with RZDV.
On all three his attempts so far, he hasn't used a lot of ERS. He was on 2 the whole time. So
Yes.
I think he must go to overtake for this
And
one.
just give it a full go.
Yeah, because he hasn't used a lot of ERS on the straight.
So let's hope
Maybe
he
he
saved up and now just give it a full blast on the RS and let's see. Right,
he's on
come around for
60%.
final. Come around for
No,
final
he's going
corner.
he's going to overtake. Yeah, let's see.
DRS wide open. DRS. There we go. Much closer, much quicker. He's going to pop onto the inside. RZDV will not be able to fend him off this time.
Yeah, it's
Unfortunately,
much
there we
better.
go. Gaffbeek makes it through much better time. Saved up ERS. Gave it all. Used it to his advantage and it worked. But of course, getting past, RZDV is not just going to let him go. He's going to have to watch his mirrors.
Now the Ferrari is going to be the one with DRS.
Correct. And as you mentioned earlier, the better tyres. Slightly newer.
It's just 2 laps, but towards the end of the race can make a difference.
Of course, it's
I've been on tyres I took 1 lap too far.
but it's also easier. It's in this position now. I still believe it's better to be the car behind because the guy in front is the one that feels the pressure more.
Yeah.
And you can watch
so
his
too.
every move. He can't see yours. And to watch go backwards the whole time is actually not a good idea because you lose the focus, you miss your braking points, make mistakes, and you can eventually end up retiring as well.
I'm not sure if RZDV changed his helmet for this particular league.
I think he did
Seems
because
to-
I
seems
never
to
seen him
suit
with
the
a red
car.
helmet. Gappy goes fastest again, 121.1. Pretty much starting to take this gap closer to out of DRS range. So RZDV will need to do something now while he still can. Was just riding on board a little bit longer. At the moment that's the only battle. Firth is pretty much confirmed. I'm surprised I'm surprised he's still here after what happened. Of course, knowing there is points up for grabs, and then now, as I say, it looks like a bit of ghosting there.
Just not
Lama-
falling out of
La-
that DRS range, 1.2
Lama about to
seconds.
be lapped. That will explain the ghosting images we've been seeing because he's about to be lapped by DW
Oh, he's pitting.
and he's pitting. DW comes through to lap him. Starts lap 30. Another 3 to go after this one.
His
That's it.
tyres must be at least like 60 or 65% worn already on 24 laps.
Okay, I will say something, and
Yeah,
Mr. Not Fernando will back me on this. DW is also known as one of the guys that can really look after his tyres and really take his tyres further than some of the other drivers.
yeah.
And when you consider the fact that he's on the controller, and the controller, trust me, the controller, tyre management's a lot more difficult. He's always been able to take them a little bit more. He's
Yeah,
also the
it
guy
looks-
that's picked up a puncture once or twice, going too far.
But
But,
somehow he still manages for time because as we have it, it's over 17 seconds.
Still pulling away, still adding to that time.
But of course also
Now
hard
is the DB
tyres,
just falling
hard,
behind.
hard tyres at Spain is not a bad thing because of abrasiveness. So the hard tyre can actually be your better tyre even if you think it's the slowest tyre. RZTV, as you rightfully mentioned, outside of DRS. Gas peak 7 seconds off in 3 laps. I don't think he's going to be able to gain the Boinkies. But even if he finishes in third, I must say well done to the gas peak. I wasn't expecting this. Can we finally see the return of a peak? Because a podium here will give him confidence.
It was a smart overtake. He took his time with it. Took a couple of laps. He thought about the dive bomb into turn 1 2 or 3 times, but
thought better
didn't
of
do
it.
And saved up his ERS and did the right thing, and seems to have worked out for him now.
Of course he has.
Or is the DB not keeping up? on the fresher
Yep.
tyres, but not keeping up.
Of course, one of the seasons last year, he was also one of the winners. So definitely a championship contender. And the pace that he shows, he's right up there with the guys, so it's possible. It's just about getting your head right, focus, keep it together. Of course, someone that also came in with a bang from last season into this one at the start, missed the first race unfortunately, but showed up with a bang last week, winning the race, of course, one of my co-commentators here tonight. So yeah, a couple of guys really showing their abilities.
I also think some tracks suit a lot of guys better than others.
That's
Like
true.
even if I speak to
Well
myself.
said, well said. Okay, gap
Yeah.
now, gap in front did fall with more than a second. But yeah, second last lap, it's not going to be enough. To take 16 seconds in one lap, not going to happen. Unless there's a mistake or something goes wrong. Gap
takes
coming
these
down further.
tyres for
Yeah. I think
28
that tyres is pretty much at the end now. This gap is now starting to fall further and further.
Well, he's going to have to take them to 28 laps.
That's almost a full 10 laps more than Boinkies. Took a gamble to put the under the safety car, but he did it. Of course, the safety car would have helped him as well. Under the safety car, you don't take out that much out of your tyres, and he managed to manage it all the way through.
It's going to be interesting in the Formula 2 race. Must be honest, I haven't. Spain's not my favourite track, so I haven't been around here in a Formula 2 car. I have no idea what it feels like. I don't know if the corners are battle with an F1. I'm going to battle with an F2, or if the less power of the car. It's like a power thing.
And DW's on the last lap. Gap under
Not
50
Fernando.
seconds now.
Do
Just
you
too many
race?
corners. Just too many corners here that when I come out of the corner, get on the power, I lose it.
Yeah.
Car goes everywhere.
Do you race
And,
on medium traction in F2?
No, it's off.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it's very tricky, very tricky.
No, my traction's off. I use medium brakes. That's all.
I think
Lap
Wazi and
33 of
Vamuna will
33.
be very happy tonight.
Yeah.
Didn't
Renault getting
expect
points.
getting points after it should look like no points, and the most unlikely person actually pitched up to give him that points, and he actually manages to get the maximum points. 25 points for win. Well done, nice return.
He is gonna do 28 laps on those tires.
That's impressive. Yeah, it comes around the final corner now.
Gap came down at the end, but of course a little too late. There we
Nicely
go.
done.
Well done, DW. 5-second time penalty there, but of course enough of a gap to counter that. Motor DW winning this.
Poinkies now around the
Just-
final corner.
Yeah, Boyki's coming to the start finish line, showing off a bit of weaving there. There we go. After the 5-second penalty applied, still 7 seconds between them. So well done, DW. Gatsby comes home in
Good
third,
gap.
and RZDV in fourth.
Alright, Johan,
Nice
I'm
one,
gonna leave you
Gav.
here.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining. So you guys can go get ready if you get your stuff going.
Hopefully we won't be speaking to you too soon.
No, please don't. Please go race. Just having the celebrations here, of course. Well done, DW. Right, so it's just confirmation of how it ended. Motor DW winning this one from Boinkies, and of course Gavin taking that final podium position. RZDV with a solid fourth on his return, and Pajama Lama finishing in fifth. Unfortunately, 2 ghost cars and then 2 retirements. I leave 5 guys, of course, in the points tonight. Okay, just to remind you, there's going to be a slight pause now. Just going to wait for everybody to get ready for the F2 race. We're just going to get the lobby sorted. Positions will be based on reverse grid order from the race we just had. So just waiting for that to be sorted out. We will be back shortly. Right, and we are back. Just waiting for everybody to get their stuff sorted and ready up. Of course, just hoping that there's no issues with the lobby, because last week, of course, it was one of those where we went over, the lobby wasn't stable, we had to recreate it, so let's hope for the best tonight. So far 3 guys readied up, 4 guys. There was a couple of guys that joined, of course we did missed the first race, well the F1 race. Let's just see, we might have lost someone. It looks like we lost Pajama Llama. There we go, everybody on grid, readied up. And indeed, we are only 8 races, 8 drivers on the grid. We lost Llama, and we lost Kyle Heltinger. But joining us, of course, in F2 now is Nismax and RT Matter. Just to remind everybody, just a formation lap, there's no qualifying in F2. And the grid position is of course based on the finish of the F1 race, as this will be reverse grid order. Of course, never easy to come straight from a F1 car into a F2 car, handles completely different. And this race does actually show more incidents. But at the end of the day, if you can keep it clean, not a lot of points, it's half points in F2, but of course it's bonus points, extra points won't hurt. Always nice to get that extra points where you can. Just see what I just want to see what details so we can have that. There we go. So you can see the different strategies already at work. Just going to keep a track map here so you can see who's where. Of course, just waiting there for Nismax and Matter right at the end to also fall through. Front runners coming past through the chicane now. Going on into the final corner, and then it's just about lining those cars up and then we can go. Of course, this is just a 19 lap race compared to a 33 lap race we had just had. F2 of course in general is shorter, so even if it's a 50% race, the F2 race will be shorter than the F1. Alright, 6 cars lining up, here comes the last 2. Nismax and Matter, just waiting for everybody to line up. Here we go, green flags. We'll shortly have a light. Lights out, almost, here we go. And it's a go! RGDV with a good start. Keeping it in front of the pig. Couple of good starts here. Motor DW also right up there with him. Got to brake late, just holding a bit. Oh, RGDV runs wide all over the curves. That will actually get Gafpik through, and Motor DW. Wankies will also put him under pressure. Yeah, sneaking through. Of course, F2 cars, like I said, they're very different. Handful, downforce is different. Motor DW, wait a second, chasing down Gafpik. Oh, and we got Nismax out. Lap 1, unfortunately, we got our first retirement, Nismax. No points, unfortunately, for him. Fernando still running there for the moment in last place, 7th. Of course, all positions will give points. So if you can finish, you can get points. Of course, that extra point or 2 can make a difference if it comes down to that at the end of the season. Matter running in 6th. Chasing down Quinton now, and Quinton keep him at bay. Yeah, big DW, just a little bit of a gap. Boinkies and RJDV. Oh, Boinky is losing it, goes into the barrier. There was contact between him and RJDV. RJDV getting over better there, but Quentin is going to put him under pressure. He and Matt, funny enough, went for the same strategy if you look at tyre choices there. Because if these guys trip over each other, it's all lets the two in front get away even further. Still early days, but meet TW having a good night. Oh, in the back there you see Matter retired. Matter, oh, that famous corner. Couple of victims, of course, there in F1. Lost Quinton at where we lost not Fernando, of course, who joined me in the commentary box a little earlier, and Lam also had an incident there, but he didn't retire. And now Matt in F2, same place. Unfortunately, if you just get into the throttle a little too early and you give it too much, you will spin. Or if you already spin by, as you go in, the moment you slide in that corner, it's over. And DW comes into the pits. But see if there was contact with somebody, some damage or so, because this is a very early stop compared to the rest of the guys. Unless, of course, it's something like what he did in the F1 race. No nose change. Decided to pit early, go onto the hard tyres, and yeah, and now off he goes. I think it was pretty much just him changing onto the harder tyres. Shows soft there, but it looked like hard tyres went on. Boinky's also in the pits again now, but yet it still shows soft there, so I'm not sure about why that early stop and for soft. I understand if he decided to go for the hard tyres, then he should be sorted till the end. But with the pictures tonight, we don't know what is true and what is not. We saw it with Gappy's car as well, when you will see he was on the medium tyres, and yet the detail showed he was or not. So yeah, let's see if those tyres are actually reflecting correctly, or if he indeed did put on hard. So let's just wait and see. Meantime, back in front, RZDV is now putting, of course, right up there because of a safety car. Of course, Matt retiring, that would have brought out the safety car, so everybody right back to each other. So that obviously, there we go. Sorry, I didn't see the safety car come out. That explains why DW would have jumped into the pits. Just like he did in the F1 race. Under the safety car, he stopped and basically did his one and only stop. So eventually those tyres will be softs, will be hard. So I don't see him putting on softs again. That will also explain, because I saw Boinky's made another stop shortly after he had to stop for that wing replacement after his incident with RZDV. Pretty much the very next lap he stopped again, which of course it's the safety car also decided to go for the harder tyres, but he's reflecting his harder tyres. So he's done his stop, so he's set, will be able to go to the end. DW now right at the back of the pack. Boinky's closing down, of course. The longer the safety car stays out, the better for him. Six drivers left, just waiting for the safety car, of course, to do its stint and get in. Quentin, of course, still on the hard tyres. He started with pretty much also the same strategy he had in the F1 race, started on the harder tyre. Because a very abrasive track, and guys were complaining about tyre wear after the F1 race. We'll just wait and see that schematic there for multi DW with a soft versus hard. if he would have to go for a softer tyre, it probably would have been medium. So I can't see him being on the soft, but we will have to wait to see how this race turns out, and then we will know for sure later. Safety car is in this lap, so we will be back to racing. And Boinkies with a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. Giving him credit for all night, saying a guy not known for penalties, and here we go, it's on a 10-second. So Boinkies can get penalties. Welcome to the penalties club, Mr. Boinkies. Right, your peak just bunching up. It's going to come around for the corner, final corner now, and he's going to go in it. There we go. RGDV with him, Quinton with him. Oh, and we got not Fernando running wide, fit for back. That promotes Motor DW to 4th. So he will shortly be with his guys. Well, Quinton going to have a good look on the inside of RGDV. Can spin him out. Yes, he does. Much later on the brakes, but he goes wide. Can RGDV come back at him? RGDV on the softer tyre, he will have a better traction. Already wanting to have a look at the outside, just not enough space there. Okay, only 5 laps, but I really need to give credit to the Gav peak. It's good to see signs of an old peak, the right peak back here. Of course, a couple of races, the last couple of races from last season and the start of the season, a lot of retirements. Finished tonight on the podium, and as it is at the moment, he will have another podium here. Let's just hope he carries this on going forward. It's always nice to have but extra driver there with just keeping everybody honest. Because the more up front with the same pace, the better the racing. More wheel to wheel stuff. Boinkies 9 seconds adrift here, thanks to that pit stop. He couldn't get to them much closer by the time safety car came in, but he still managed to get closer. Gap P goes faster, so 135.6. Gap is open to over a second now. RCGV wanting, no, not close enough. Top 3 just getting away slightly now. Motor DW battling there with not Fernando. Can he make it for double tonight? Quinton till 1.3 seconds. Of course, both of the guys in front will have to stop. Quinton just later having the harder tyres. Of course, Peak would want to push as much as he can on these soft tyres to build up some sort of gap. Be struggling to catch. He's still at that 9-second gap to Fernando. Fernando dropping off slightly. Boinkies has left the session and load shedding has kicked in. If we look at the time, 10 o'clock, exactly on the top of the hour, and there goes Boinkies. Load shedding has taken its toll. Our second load shedding victim tonight. Gappy goes faster just for RZDV to go faster. RZDV now really on the back of that Carvey of Quinton. Of course, if Quinton would not want to have too much of this, because if the two of them battle, it will allow the Peak to get away. He's got that gap now under a second to the Peak. I think these soft tyres will also start falling off soon. Yeah, just confirmation there from Boinkies confirming that it's indeed load shedding. Gafpick open it up to over a second again, 1.5 seconds now. RZDV still staying there within DRS range. Moto DW closing little by little. Not Fernando dropping off a bit further. But he just needs, if he can just keep it together, keep it clean, 5th place, he can get salvage some points. Of course, Poinkies is out, and of course for 2 retirements, so only 5 drivers remain. And Gafpick comes into the pit, soft tyres are gone, enough's enough, he's coming in. Philly he will also come out on hard tyres. Moto DW goes fast as 134.9. Guy now on the move. Can he make some positions up here? Oh, an RZDV that goes wide again into that first sequence of corners. That actually allows Moto DW to come past him just like at the start of a race. Moto DW will now be chasing way after Quinton. Not Fernando also on the pits now. Gafpick is indeed on the harder tyre, not Fernando. Yeah, he looks like he's also going on to the harder tyre. There we go. Just changed to white there. There's the confirmation and the schematic confirms that. So it still doesn't show Moto DW on hard, so that might actually be another stop to come. But yeah, we'll have to wait to see how correct that is as this race unfolds. Now the 11 laps left after this one. Surely RZTV might also come into the pits now. Yep, there we go, just confirmation, diving into the pits. Moto DW goes faster again. That brings him within DRS range, and yes, there we go, DRS is actually wide open as we speak. Getting closer and closer. Of course, Sly Old Fox, very experienced at this type of racing. He's done this a couple of seasons. Here we go, pretty much the entire field shows us hard now. Hard tyres are just for Moto DW, but again, I don't know if that is correct. He made a very early stop, of course, dived into the pits under the safety car. Gafpick now back into third. Of course, that car Poinkies is ghosting, so that doesn't count. So pretty much RZTV and not Fernando will move up a place. Gafpick 27 seconds behind the 2 in front. Of course, those 2 still need to stop. Maybe, of course, on the NDW side. Quinton definitely will have to stop. He haven't stopped as yet, and he need to use the other compounder. Gafpick now really pushing, go a bit wide there. And Moto DW going into the pit, so that was been actually correct. He was on soft tyres again. So yeah, I would be tempted to go into mediums here rather than hards, because that is a faster tyre between the 2 harder. No, that's a set of hard tyres there. You will be on the fresher rubber at the end now. But I'm not sure, with 9 laps remaining, mediums might have been a good move. Maybe DW have done enough. Gafpick just coming around the final corner now. DW's on his way out. There we go. Gafpick in the back. Goes a bit wide. Coming down to the start finish line. And he did do enough to get past DW. Gafpick into second. DW going for a very different strategy compared to the F1. Under both races we had early safety cars. He dived into the pits, changed tyres. Of course, in F1 he went into the hards, he managed to make it last all the way. First time he decided to go slightly different, put on the softer tyre, now onto the hard. That managed to do a good couple of laps on the soft, so maybe medium might have been an option. Not sure if mediums are available, but medium might have been an option to finish this race with. Of course, softer than the hards, and that would have allowed him to gain some time on the other guys. But yeah, same tyre, hard. He did it in the F1 race. So let's see if he can actually pick up speed on the hard tyres now and chase the two in front of him. I think Quinton Hayter might also start thinking, no, not this time round, but he will definitely start thinking of quitting. So now on lap 11 out of 19 laps already 10 laps on those hard tyres. Still need to stop to change to the softer compound. For the moment as it is, we might have enough time to just clear Gap Peak when he comes out. Ooh, big slide there, nicely controlled. Undertaker kept it under control. And we got a yellow flag on track. Oh, and not Fernando. Not his favorite corner. And if I say favorite corner, I mean sarcastically. The one that took him out in the first, of course, in the F1 race. Whereas it's just as you enter sector 3, of course. So I think there is damage on that car, so it will have to go for wing replacement probably. From this angle, doesn't look like that the wing might have damage, so he might have actually kept it out of a barrier. Looks like he made contact, but he didn't. There is definitely no damage there, and he decided to stay out, so he can continue. Of course, even if he shows 6, just keep in mind that he's ultimately 5th place, so that car Poinkies is coasting. Moto DW still 4 seconds behind the Peak. Peak slightly got down the gap to Quinton. Can he bring down the gap even more? I have to wait to see if momentarily it went up a little bit again, so let's see how it goes. Quinton still not pitting, taking these hard tyres as far as possible. Gappy goes fastest now, 134.6. DV currently being a solid 4th. MotoDW 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Just maybe just a little bit too eager on those apexes. Gap Peak bringing down, yeah, he definitely bringing down the gap is little by little. Of course, he's on the better tyre. Only 4 laps on those, where Quinton has already done 12. Started the race on his. Quinton staying out another lap. Surely he will go on to the softs after this. There's still 6 laps left. So you can start thinking of that pit stop. Might do so rather sooner than later, before the Peak really bring down that gap. RGDV right on the back of MotoDW. There might have been a bit of a mistake. Gap was over a second not too long ago. Of course, these F2 cars, as easy as it looks like, trust me, there's a big difference between the two cars, how they handle, how they respond. Of course, as we talk about response, can be different on acceleration and under braking. Of course, the power output as well is different. Gaffey having the gap now under 27 seconds to Quinton. Really pushing. Quinton is in the pits. Quinton is changing tyres now with this lap. Here we go, confirmation he will go into the softs. So he's got his second compound and goes for the softer compound. Gaffey through the chicane coming around for final corner. Quinton is on his way. There goes Gaffey in the back end. Around final corner to speed Gaffey, and he actually goes fastest and he's going to go past Quinton. Gaffey into the lead. 6 laps to go, he's in front. Can he keep it there? Quinton of course will be on this, is now on the softer tyre. That is the better tyre grip wise, so you can be quicker as well with it. So can Quinton make it count and then chase down the peak, or can the peak actually manage that gap? Interesting final laps of this race ahead of us. RZDV still keeping MotoDW honest. Because these two would want to catch Quinton, because be part of a tussle there for second and even first. Quinton now pulling away from these two. Not a decent night for Gaffey tonight. Pole position, fastest lap in the previous race, podium finish, of course got it home in third. Unlucky with a penalty under the safety car. I noticed he mentioned that it was actually one of those glitches. Oh, and RZDV made a slight contact there with DW that sent him spinning. He was going to have a look on the inside. The area is wide open, dive to the inside, but DW of course also one of the late breakers. Stayed on the outside, and RZDV unfortunately ran out of room. Fortunately now getting through, and that sent him into a spin. Gap now under 3 seconds, at 2.5 seconds between these two. 4 laps to go after this one. And yellow flag. RZDV, of course, now with a spin that would have cooled the tyres tremendously. Now to control that car, of course, he did try to get the tyre, of course, heat back into the tyres. RZDV having a bit of trouble there with the car. Comes the ghost car. No, RZDV gave up. He gave up. That was actually one of those just driving into the barrier and give up. Don't blame him pretty much, but would have been distraught after that, losing positions. And then of course now again we're spinning twice in like a couple of corners. Won't blame him for giving up. Not Fernando pretty much now running in 4th, because that ghost car will not get any points. Go to DW, currently in 3rd last podium position. Gaff Peak up front. Oh, and we got a safety car out thanks to that retirement of RZDV. That's the other down part about you retiring on purpose. You got full of a race and you decide to put in the barrier. That can also trigger the safety car, which again in that way affects the race of the other drivers. So rather, if you want to retire, rather just pause and select retire, or put it in the pits and then retire. Then that way you can't have an impact on the other guys' race. Unfortunately, in the heat of a moment, you're so angry you don't think straight. So they might, not sure that will be actually an inquiry afterwards with the stewards, because stewards might not take that very lightly. Of course DW will be happy with that. He's going to be right on the back of these two in front of him. He's on the better tyres in Gaff Peak, but of course out of the free Quinton is still on the better tyres. softer, soft tires, and of course it's newer as well. Safety car will start at least another lap. Ooh, not Fernando having a moment there. He did say before the race he's not confident. We've been around this track in the F2 car. Did retire the previous race. Unfortunately, Spain is not one of his happy hunting grounds, but already done 17 laps pretty much, so that's already achievement on its own. See the big weaving here, putting heat in the tires. Just be careful of too much weaving, you don't want to end up in those barriers. Ooh, not Fernando, 3-second time penalty. Because you just need to finish, he can't finish any lower than 4th. Safety car in this lap, so we're gonna have 2 laps of race, full proper racing. That's gonna be a good finish to the race. Of course, Quinton will be happy with that. He's got the newer tires, for softer tires, he will have a better traction. See what Verpeke is gonna do. He's gonna punch it up and release it at the right time. Can he catch out Quinton? He would hope that it happens, because that will help him. Because on the harder tires, the older tires, you need to get away from Quinton. You need to fend him off for 2 laps. Always easier said than done. Right, coming around the final corner now. Gaffbeek started going, but Quinton actually responded. Quinton gains on him. Quinton responded far better, using the soft tires to his advantage. Gaffbeek stays on the inside. Quinton's going to have a go as well. Gaffbeek keeps his line. Well done, both drivers. Yeah, Moto DW staying with him. Of course, if he's to make contact, he will gain those positions. Anything can happen. Here we go, not Fernando now finally in 4th thanks to that safety car, and he's ahead of that ghosting car now. Only 4th compared to these 3 that's still to the right with each other, all within a second. Here comes the pressure stage. Of course, Quinton, one of the victims here in the F1 race, would not want to push it too hard again. Gaffbeek keeping it in front. Of course, he's going to have to contend with the start finish line coming up soon, but only the first lap after safety car we will not be DRS, so Quinton won't have that extra boost. Of course, these cars don't have ERS either, so it's all about pure raw power. Oh, and a big moment there for Quinton. That actually puts him back and will put him under pressure to DW, but he actually make up for it. Gets the car under the control, and he actually manages to keep away from DW, but in the end cost him time to Gaffbeek. Boinky is disqualified, but that's of course that AI car, of course. DW a big moment there, just missing his braking point. Not sure also if that pop-up, because they would have seen that same pop-up, not sure if that distracted him. Looking at that, rather when his braking point missed it slightly, making contact with Quinton, but all good. Quinton keeps his position, he does as well. Of course, bit of wing damage. The car will not handle that nicely. The Peak actually have done enough to keep the car in front. He's keeping in front of Quinton. TW unfortunately will not make it the double tonight. Not Fernando caught up nicely with him now as well. Quinton will put the Peak under pressure one last time. Last sequence of corners coming up. Just a few more meters. Win this race is also something of the past. Through the chicane. The Peak goes slightly wide, but yeah, he keeps a tighter line. Can Quinton have a better drive? Quinton's going to push him all the way. Look at that, very close Quinton, fastest lap on the very last lap of the race. But how's that for you, these two pushing each other all the way? Well, nice driving, gentlemen. Right, just waiting for the podium procedures to finish. Of course, Gav Peak will be a very happy chappy tonight. I think he would have loved to have a win in F1 as well, and he had it briefly. Got a penalty under the safety car which costed him. Okay, there's confirmation of how it ended here at the F2. We've got Gav Peak winning it from Quinton in the end just by 1/10 of a second. Of course, Motor DW and Not Fernando picking up some penalties along the way, but that won't change their respective positions. So that's the four finishers: Gav Peak, Quinton, Motor DW and Not Fernando. So pretty much a lot of guys actually being out. Of course, a couple of retirements as well. So started with a low number of drivers. So unfortunately, a couple of retirements. So very low finish tonight. So, but still, thanks to the guys who did come out tonight to actually race, and of course also thank you to you guys who actually watched tonight, and thanks for the support. Of course, until next time, keep safe. Practice drive, of course, on the game or on the track. Don't do it on a public road. Stay out of mischief. Look after yourself, and then we're back next week, same time, same place. Cheerio.